Hey, if you clicked on this, you probably feel like you're in the wilderness right now. Not just a physical place, obviously, but a time of isolation, feeling like you're in the middle of nowhere in your life. You feel like you have just been stripped of opportunities and comforts, and things just aren't going well for you right now. And you feel left alone with just your thoughts. And that's confusing, right? And maybe you feel abandoned by people and friends, or even like God has abandoned you. Well, the Bible has a lot to say about these moments in our lives, and often they are ripe for a divine encounter. Right? Jesus himself retreated into the wilderness after his baptism, after he was praying and he's fasting for 40 days. In this lonely expanse, he resisted temptations and prepared himself for the ministry that would change the world, And afterwards it says that he was ministered to by the angels. Right? His time alone with the Father reveals this powerful truth that when we remove the clutter of our lives, like our daily lives, social media, computers, the worries, all of this stuff, we create space for God to speak directly to our hearts. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness, right, after fleeing Egypt. And it was in that desolate place that Moses encountered God in the burning bush, right? A moment that literally transformed his life. In one moment, set him on the path to deliver Israel. Right, we think of Elijah, who he fled into the wilderness, right, and he experienced there God's tender care and provision through the angelic army that he was able to witness and see, right, and it sustained him. These encounters, they're not accidents. They were divine appointments designed to refine and empower these great men of faith. See, the wilderness is where distractions fall away and we're left with nothing but our reliance on God. And it's in that simplicity, that quiet place that we begin to understand who God is and how deeply he cares for us. Often we won't by ourselves be still enough, at least to the degree to allow God to actually do a deep work in us. So he allows the world to strip us down, and it's in those places where we have absolutely nothing in the way anymore that our soul is given room to breathe and reflect and to encounter the transformative power of his presence, just you and him, right? And if you're experiencing a season of isolation or feel like you're in a spiritual wilderness right now, I want to encourage you to find the gold in it, right? Use this time to draw near to God through prayer, through meditation, through scriptures, through solitude, to have a more intimate encounter with the one who promises that he's never going to leave you or forsake you. Hey, you're going to pass from this life to the next at some point, right? We're all going to die, whether by rapture or by death. We're going to stand before him, each of us, by ourselves, just us and him. And we're going to give account for our life. And in his grace, he gives us seasons that on earth strip us away from everything so that we can get close to that moment where we find out who we really are, right? In the midst of our darkest moments, will we trust and rely on Christ? Or are we going to lean further into the world when things are stripped away? Are we going to be angry and bitter and try to numb out with whatever vices to medicate us? That's the test. And you get to see what you're made of in the middle of your trial. So will you courageously lean into God, or are you going to run? And my encouragement is for you to embrace this season, turn it into gold. Right? Jesus says that he who began a good work in you will not fail to complete it. So if you let God become your everything in your darkest moments, he's going to meet you there, care for you, and restore you and elevate you. And when you stand before him, right, when you step into eternity, you're going to be rewarded for your suffering. And I know this isn't easy. I want to minimize what you're going through and the experience. I know it's difficult, and you don't have to walk out it alone. There's a community here with people who I see it's so awesome that you see so many people praying for each other and encouraging each other. And that's what I hope these videos do. I hope that these videos are an encouragement to you, and if you do find yourself walking through a season where you just need some extra one-on-one time, some coaching, feel free to reach out. The link is in the description of our website. You can book some time where I'll sit with you and just try to help encourage and walk you through the things that you're going through. As we're moving forward, let's continue to walk in truth. Let's war against deception and remember to stay sharp because Jesus is coming soon.